Good morning everyone, welcome back to the 8 Regents tournament. So this is round 5, Baratheon against Stark this time, and first game already played. So we are down after the first one, but we'll be watching Stephen today playing against Marcus from the Stark team. And the game has started, so bad news for us, I guess. We have Stark crossing, a really strong deck against Baratheon Prince. And Baratheon Prince starting with Storm's End. Interesting. Let's just see, we missed the start. Who the prince is? It's Robert Baratheon now, right? Okay, so Robert, if he's played, can do some intimidate, I guess, when going first. Okay. Melisandre played, so Caitlyn knelt to stop any... she would stop any triggers, of course, in the challenge she participates in, including the agenda. Can still do that if the Northern Armor is used. And I bet the Red Priest is going to have an unpleasant sight here. Probably some She-Bears and Bear Iron Scouts and stuff like that in the deck. And we have the Withering Cold, which is common in Stark, but in the Crossing deck, if you're not playing RoB, of course it could be problematic. I guess the event, I am no one, to keep a character standing and do challenges with it is useful. I'm guessing that's not in hand, since Stephen discarded or removed Septa. Sorry about that. Okay, Great John can do 2 challenges potentially. And just the 1 scout. Searches for another one, and we have all 3 icons for the crossing. Yeah, good start. Okay, this only works on attack. So 2 options, I guess, for Steven. One is to pass and defend. Slightly problematic with Grey John and his Intimidate. The other is to do a military, because Stark is down to just 4 characters and would presumably want to defend, although I guess you could just defend with Bear Iron Scouts, claim him, and then do the 3 challenges. And so there is an I am no one, which means Stark will now do 3 challenges very easily, grab some cards and not kneel anything with this annoying plot. Yeah, so if you change this to power, there is no claim, of course, but Storm's End would remain knelt. Withering Cold, of course, is the plot here. But now he won't be able to stand because it's not a military challenge. But he can intimidate Melisandre. Okay, losing economy. Stark refilling his hand, and now of course the crossing challenge. With a non-kneeling character. And that should get the third power and then win dominance as well, and yeah, possibly better board state, better hand after round one. Really tough one here for Stephen. Stephen gives up the unopposed instead and should win dominance, which of course puts power on his faction card, but I guess chances are that he will have a better round. Now what is still left in hand is the question, because currently it's not too bad if you imagine Melisandre needs another one of these characters, but could have some decent economy now and marshal a bunch of new stuff. We could have stand, or we could even have Winter Festival, which just passively gains more power against a non-summer plot. And good call here, exchange against the Winter Festival, so that's going to block something at least. Stephen should go second, of course. Doesn't seem to have the gold to marshal Robert or do any intimidate. And what do we have here? No locations, it seems. That's annoying, especially with that Rose Road gone. Okay, he's going to get probably a Cask of Ale with Traitor and then some kind of Meister Crescent or something like that. Cask of Ale not totally useless, obviously. Marcus has to attack for his crossing, then maybe he is left with fewer defenders, has to concede that power challenge, and then you can just use Cask, I guess, to put the power on the plot, and it's lost at the end of the round. Now what do we have? Bastard of Robert, okay, that's going to be free at some point. Traitor and Cask. Marcus has to go first, so if he marshals something better, I guess, traitor will be used on that. And only 3 gold. The economy knelt. And here we go, passing the Black Gate. He's now going to marshal swarm of characters. Two armories. Getting dicey, okay. Luckily not this round. And seems like if he has a Chad for Melisandre, he could kneel the intrigue icon, make Marcus spend one of those armories. Here we go. And must be unpleasant again. If no one is there, you have to take it, kind of. But that leaves dice in hand. Yeah, unfortunate. Lots of draw. Going for the intrigue icon. No way to trigger the agenda here for Stephen to find Robert. And he is not very efficient anyway on this board with so many Chads, unless he had Warhammer. And is it possible that we have the third one? Some more challenges without spending any resources, unfortunately. And it will refill the hand again. Right, okay. Privileged position. Would ideally cancel the armory, but there are 2 of them, so that blocks some of the draw. We know Daisy is in hand and 2 other cards. Wonder who the target was for this event. Okay, and intimidate. At least they're spent now. Yeah, should intimidate the power icon really now to stop that Cask of Ale. And get more unopposed. Well, no good way to defend this. Creature stands and intimidates one of the other icons. And intrigue one. Okay, that's Judd gone. And the power one free here. With a win by 5 as well if he wants it. Probably doesn't have superior claim on top of everything else. So that should be 7 power for Marcus here. And another one for dominance. So classic quick round for crossing. One of the festivals blocked. Fortunately, there might be the second one coming up, and questionable if there is another summer plot. And yeah, it's core Robert, I think, in this deck, which of course is different story to the control version that would have kept some of this board knelt at least. Okay, and here it goes, it will be successful. Now we have Mad King's Command with Stephen going first, so that's going to reduce the number of characters. Two red priests, what have they taken? So Septa and I'm no one. Yeah, Septa would be annoying against Mad King's Command, I guess. And now by kneeling something in Melisandre, of course, you the opponent can just pick standing characters for the plot instead. Lightbringer on a character that will be going away. Okay, so that's going back to hand, I guess, for next round. Niels Greyjoy, who would have been annoying with his Intimidate again. It looks like Steven is prepared to play defensively now, just pass, no power on his faction card, and then I'll not give any unopposed away. Give himself another round before Marcus can close it. It's going on Caitlyn or Arya. Arya. And there wasn't much gold in the first place. But 2 left over, which is unfortunate unless Steven has a way to spend it. And now what do we do? Seems like whatever he marshals basically will just be removed because of the plot. Unless he has attachments, which I don't think start crossing even place, so... More draw in hand would be nice. He could play Daisy. Keep Daisy, Arya and Caitlyn. But seems like she would be useful next round as well. Yep, 7 gold. Probably going to waste. And that's Great John gone. But 3 useful characters. All the icons. Yeah, you can choose opponent's attachments if you like. Stephen has already chosen them, so makes a difference. And all the locations, so both players down to 3 cards in hand. Lightbringer going back as well. And now, do we have another crossing trigger anymore unopposed? Winter Festival dominance. And it's going to be close here this round. And maybe a superior claim top decked, who knows. Oh, attacking, why attacking? Yeah, I should just pass here. Okay, I guess getting rid of his dupe. Or one of the 3 characters that's there's some use. But it does give... I was gonna say, it does give unopposed away, so power that can be stolen back, but no, okay. Arya defends and maybe loses that dupe now, so she's useless with that traitor. If there is summer in hand, getting this to the discard pile is annoying. And that leaves Marcus without a military icon. Yeah, I wouldn't personally attack in this situation, but let's see, maybe Marcus defends this one as well. He is down on cards, of course, so if he doesn't close this round, things are getting more difficult. And he defends, protecting that dicey. But the power challenge would probably not be defended. Just strike back for the unopposed, so maybe pass here. Yeah. No reason for Marcus to do challenge. 11 power, both winter festivals gone, hopefully not the heads on spikes as well. Okay, gold for Stephen, and we have the warrior. Potential 2-claimer, although not that easy, so Caitlyn has the 7th trait. Plenty of gold to Marshall Dicey as well. And who goes first here? Marcus goes first. Difficult to close with no claim, but avoids any intimidate, stuff like that. And Dicey should have renown, unless she gets milked. Yeah, more draw. And is the army of Chads back? Ugh. Giving Arya another icon. And 4 for dicey, is it? Yep, and strong as well, so at least she can be solved with the single milk. Let's hope for some good cards now. We know there is Lightbringer, so worst case, one of the characters will be nailed for Melisandre. And finally the prince has arrived, okay, and has free stuff. Yeah, makes sense. Now what do you kneel? If there's no milk, you could kneel Daisy, she's the strongest. Kneeling Cat, because she blocks Bob's stand. Fortunately, impossible to get around the crossing. All 3 icons. And 2 gold left. Like it was the previous round. That's too bad. And now Marcus can attack even if he can't win, just to get the cards from Lightsummer Fist. And I don't think any unopposed will be given away. Yeah, with every card drawn, more danger of superior claim. But not that easy to trigger, so the stealth character is gone. And now we need to do military next, probably. But Robert will stand once with the Lightbringer. And he could stand another time with the agenda. Storm's End also still standing. Taking quite a long time this game, only 19 minutes left, which of course is in Marcus' favor. Okay, so he's going for military, if Robert defends and stands, and then the other two characters do power. What would that be? 13. So Robert could defend that as well. Yes, so I think Robert defends, stands, potentially blocks the power as well, and then you can still strike back and hopefully in a way that stands Robert, I mean. But okay, now defending military. Except already in play, I guess you could kill the red priest that took her. Just need to be careful, of course, because that's one nailed character that will be gone for Robert. Okay, taking the dupe makes sense. There is no Morghulis on either side, so yeah, and if these two now attack, or if one of them attacks, then they can't get past Robert. And I think Storm's End will be used on attack now to do 2 power challenges, try to bring it closer. Okay, 13. Didn't calculate this one brilliantly. But it doesn't matter, so if Robert and Bastard defend, Robert can stand with Lightbringer. Then he can do power and stand himself with the agenda. And Melisandre can turn her intrigue into power. Or Robert can trigger the military into power, whatever. Works either way, as long as this one is successful here. As long as Stark doesn't have any tricks. And it doesn't, okay. And now the score should be getting closer, and here we go. So that's 2 power with the Cask of Ale. Robert will stand with the agenda, draw another card. Okay, so does the intrigue. And I think the other one will be Storm's End into power. Grabbing some more renown and unopposed and dominance. And actually now Stephen is ahead after the Cascavale power goes away, which is quite miraculous. Still in danger, of course, crossing and Dicey. And a huge board that survives the Harris much better than Stevens does. That Cascavale does some good work sometimes. I know Steven had Clash of Kings in an earlier draft of this deck and swapped it out. Now if he had that to win initiative, do a big power challenge with Robert stand and then do Storm's End into another power challenge, that could be game winning. But it's not going to be happening. Oh, alright. Did not see that one coming, so that's 3 power gone. That's currently on Robert. Melisandre and Robert died with this one. Of course, Melisandre's dupe used earlier, which I'm sure now Stephen hugely regrets. And the 2 red priests, which will be giving cards back. However, Septa is dead. And there isn't much economy, so even if Summer is played, how much can Marcus really do here? And he will be losing the Winter Festival, conceding the Winter Festival power. Yeah, too bad Robert isn't protected here. Obviously then Morghulis wouldn't have been played, but shame about the power, because against Morghulis with no claim and limited board, you could try to do something. With 9 and Storm's End in play and Winter Festival, you could push for the win. Now I think Marcus has stalled it here. Question is, does he have anything useful? And he gets that I am no one back, so he could play a character with 2 icons and just do 2 challenges. Summer would be the worst really, but okay. Alright, that's not the best for him, because these 2 have 0 strength on the first challenge. So that's one that's basically wasted. Just the one, okay. And getting rid of power icon. Okay, that's annoying. So she's going to do 2 challenges. One will be, of course, useless because of the crossing. No gold for any winter is coming. Okay, this one she can do. Yeah, Stephen really needed another character here. Could have left stuff unopposed then. If he did 2 power challenges with Storm's End and both would be unopposed in theory, that would be potentially 12 power with Winter Festival. Maybe Dominance as well. And Selisi, I think she just does power here. Can't be opposed because Jojen doesn't contribute strength and doesn't contribute to dominance either, so that should be tied. And now, time running out, crossing not looking so well, but I'm thinking, do we see you win or you die? We see Clash of Kings, okay, so that limits what Storm's End can afford to do. We have air, only Selisi in place, so you could try to find Alistair and when he leaves he needs something, or you could change her for Robert, I guess, if you're lucky. Lightbringer still in hand. Marcus goes first, but if he can't get to 15, then I think he's in trouble. Finding a dupe, okay. Not the worst thing. Now let's see. 8 gold worth of characters here can be marshaled. Fast Eddie or something would be good. Okay, draw, not bad, and he could draw a passing again, get some Bear Island scouts, maybe a summer, and then things could happen. And a non-killer. Okay, and Sweet Sleep means he does now contribute strength to the power challenges and has stealth as well, so not the worst thing. More draw. Potential kneel as well. And Sarimri Florent. Okay. Now is there double nightmares or something, because yeah, he's just used in marshalling, not risking any challenges phase nightmares. And getting rid of 4 locations to kneel everything here. Now does that win the game? Yeah. That one copy of Imri, always a good draw, definitely. Now let's see, so if you do double power, what does that do? That's 12 and 14. Dominance is tied, so not quite good enough. So another round. I would swap this one to power anyway, because with 14-5 it's so much more difficult to win. Of course, time will be expiring, and Stephen has basically sacrificed all of his locations just to be able to do this. And so what you want to do now with that clash gone is, of course, to make sure opponent can't get from 5 to 15 in one round. Even for crossing, that's difficult. And whatever the last plots are, players are stuck with them now. That Morgulis was shocking, and you know what, it almost worked, because he did have some characters here for that Clash of Kings. Could have gone pretty close. Definitely a nice shock, because we've been so used to watching players like Denis play this, and getting that early rush, potentially no resets, or just the Harris. Now he's doing Kingsgate as well, limits his economy but gets more cards, and yeah, should be another round unless the players stall here. Don't think you can realistically spend a minute to get through these phases, so yeah, getting rid of Courtney and his King's Road. Stephen has no economy, so best he can do is I think they've agreed to play another round. Yeah, I think that's there was time for another round here, and wasting that with chatting, of course, is not very fair, I think I should play it out whatever it is, but I think it's game over. I can't see Stark crossing winning this one, because it would need to get to 13 at least to win, for instance, 13-13. It's I can't think even with the perfect war cards in hand and the perfect lot how that could be achieved. But I am interested to see. Okay, PD, that's not helping, and it stops any renown, yeah, so it was not on. Waited a long time for that PD. It was never a good chance to play it. Stephen was slightly struggling, then we had the Mad King's command, kept it on 3. And then he played out some locations and used them for Imri. So if he timed that PD absolutely perfectly, could have been useful. And what do we have this milk for? One of the stealth. This Jojen has sweet sleep anyway, so Mira. Yeah, it was looking good for crossing early on, definitely. With that second winter festival, got him to 11. But then Steven had a good round with that Cascovade with the storms and triggers. Then Morghulis, yeah, without that the boards get pretty huge, but Robert is there and he has renown with Lightbringer, so couldn't really be stopped, especially if Steven won initiative. So yeah, tempting the Morghulis to turn it around, but wasn't quite enough against that Imri. I wonder who would have won with no Imri. There was of course no claim that round, and then Clash of Kings on the Imri turn could have stolen some power. It's 14-5 now, but if you can imagine Clash of Kings in there and some power claim, maybe Marcus wins it. Okay, just going through the motions here, so Stephen is just going to defend and then win on time, or just get to 15 more likely. And all 3, I have no ones in the opening few rounds. I got him some cards, but it was a bit unfortunate, I guess. Had that one on the Morghulis turn with Mira, who couldn't really do much. And then Mad King's command, of course, evened out the hands to 3 each, so. And both armor is spent, of course you kind of have to do that against Bara Nil. It's not straight Nil deck, but there was Melisandre. you can target the icons in crossing. But of course the keycard, as it so often is, was Storm's End here, to make sure Stephen could do 2 power challenges a few times, and here we go. So Superior Claim gets him to 11. Now time to pass. I was thinking, don't do anything silly that he win by 5 on defense or anything like that. But yeah, he's going to get to 15, which makes sense. Better way to win than winning on time anyway. Okay, tough one. Not exactly common to see Star Crossing taking more than an hour to finish the game, and Bara Prince certainly seems quick as well, although of course with Prince, agenda says other characters can't gain any power, so can't really rush with Renown with that, and I think Storm's End is a good card, so we played some traitors, change some challenges into power, get more value that way, and nicely played. And that means first win for Baratheon as well, so it's 1-1 with 2 more games to come tonight, and then the rest on Sunday. Alright, so thanks for joining me on this one, and see you next time.